A very good afternoon. It is exactly 1 p.m. Welcome to UBC Lunchtime News. I'm Lorraine Masika Kazimoto. We start off this news bulletin with the security chiefs and leaders in Karamoja sub-region have pledged to implement the presidential executive orders on charcoal burning and stopping the Turkana Kenyan pastoralists from grazing on the Ugandan soils until they provide guns that were used in the killing of 3 Ugandan geologists and a UPDF soldier. The presidential executive orders are geared at improving the security situation in Karamoja sub-region. Speaking at a media briefing held at the 3rd Division headquarters in Moroto, security chiefs revealed that killings and abductions and cattle raids have gradually reduced. We have the details.
It is now comparable to other regions.
Early this year, President Yoweri Museveni executive orders banning Turkana Kenyan pastoralists from grazing within Ugandan territories and commercialized charcoal burning in the northern and northeastern Uganda has improved security in Karamoja.
90% of the livestock that were stolen were successfully recovered. Save for a few that were crossed to Kenya, it could not recover. We had was rearmament, which was coming from the Turkana. That one we have dealt with it, because the president supported us and he gave permission to expel them. So the rearmament is now not taking place.
This crime reduced the way you are seeing. Number one, there have been enhanced community mobilization, joint. We have been really moving to the ground, talking to the people and engaging of all key stakeholders.
Peace mobilization meetings and presidential amnesty to the Karimajong warriors have enabled notorious warriors to voluntarily surrender.
Those who are hiding behind the charcoal burning, because whenever they come from far distances, they had nowhere. It was very hard for them to mingle with the people because they are of different ethnic groups. So the only way to have a hideout was to hide behind charcoal burning. But now we completely stopped charcoal burning. So they do not have that freedom. If they go to bars, they get arrested.
Police and Stock Theft Unit Commandant, Commissioner of Police, Elias and Mountain Moroto Region Police Commander and Commissioner of Police, Francis Chemusto say enforcement on illicit waraji and cattle trade has reduced commercialized raids.
To ensure that any animal that leaves Karamoja is verified with proper documentation. I wish to register success in that area, that we have registered limited freedom of movement of animals where insecurity has been.
For operations against waraji, which has resulted to the reduction of assault cases you have seen.
Meanwhile, security says there are challenges by limited road and water access.
Not established permanent detaches in all those crossing points simply because of 2 reasons. Number 1, no access. Number 2, no water.
Walk with the terrain, as you see this terrain. When troops are walking, automatically these people will have seen them. So they take off before the troops have arrived in the area. Like the operation we had in the Tepes. We had a very, very serious operation in the Tapach, but because of the terrain, the people identified the soldiers from a far distance and they took off and crossed to Kenya.
Brian Tumwenebiaruhanga, Moriniga, UBC News.
Over 100 former Rwenzururu Kingdom royal guards in Rwenzori region have received amnesty certificates as a gesture of having been set free. The function was held at Rwenzori Square in Kasese town and was officiated by the senior presidential advisor in charge of Rwenzori region, Christine Muhindo.
The Amnesty Commission has given out over 100 amnesty certificates to the former Rwenzururu Kingdom Royal Guards who were pardoned after the DPP dropped all the charges against them. The Coordinator Amnesty Commission in charge of Rwenzori region, Ronald Sekatawa, advised the beneficiaries to stop indulging themselves in bad politics, which may lead them into criminality.
They are just cases you have seen. They have been 138. We gave certificates to Bunyangabo district. We gave those from Kabarole and those from Montoroka and Bundubujo.
He requested those still in hiding to come out and seek amnesty, saying that government is ready to pardon everyone ready to surrender. The senior presidential advisor in charge of Rwenzori region, Christine Mohindo, advised leaders in Rwenzori region to guide the former Rwenzururu Royal Guards on government programs that can help them get out of poverty.
Leaders should always guide these royal guards to do something or to do some programs which will get them out of poverty.
The Rwenzururu Kingdom Prime Minister, Kule Joseph Muranga, requested government to give support to the former Rwenzururu Royal Guards, taking into account the appalling economic situation they live in.
The main thing is to make sure that these people are given something as a token that they can begin a new life. And I believe that government is going to do it through the Ministry of Internal Affairs, so that once these people are given something, and some of us as of Singabarunzuru, we are going to make sure that we engage them in our projects like
Graduates from northern Uganda have enrolled in an intensive 6 months capacity building program to empower them with employability skills. The volunteering program will allow youths gain practical experiences of the development work. Ediolwa reports.
On-job training could be the missing link in reducing graduate unemployment. Many employers in the public sector insist on employing skilled human resource but are not willing to enhance skills of fresh graduates. In the end, Greek, in partnership with the Fitch Uganda, is enrolling 15 youth yearly to an empowerment program to skill fresh graduates with appropriate skills required by the current job market.
So we believe if we take them through all these sessions, they are able to be better than those who are not able to be part of the program. Because after 6 months, we always do comparative analysis in terms of the knowledge and skill that they will have acquired within the 6 month period.
Isaac Olale, graduate from Chambogo, says the fellowship program is equipping them with the skills to compete favorably for better jobs.
Many of us get the chance to get attached to organizations where we learn about different organization ideas and their futures, their ways of life, of which it's much more different from the campus life.
And then giving us also the skills, the required skills that we need when we move outside there, when we begin to face the real world. So I'm very happy for this opportunity.
The Uganda Vision 2040 envisages a strong labor force to attain a middle income status.
And so the skills we are giving young people today is to help them to map out where opportunities lie, is to help them to move out in the community and identify challenges that they can be able to address, is to also support them to see how to mobilize resources to support the communities.
Okello wants such practices to be adopted by government and institutions of learning to produce quality human capital for the country.
Government has a lot of programs. In all these programs, can we try to engage young people so that they can be able to learn on job? Even if you're not going to give them permanent placements, but we should open learning opportunities for them, so that in any case, if an opportunity avails itself out, then we are sure that some of them can be absorbed and then they should be able to learn on.
The Greek Youth Leadership Program in Uganda is part of the partnership content between Greek Africa and Fitch. The program has already benefited 45 youth in the period of 2 years in 4 different cohorts. Edi Olwa, UBC News.
Leaders in Mbale district and Mbale network of young people living with HIV/AIDS want parents and guardians to revive the traditional way of parenting. These leaders were at Mbale district headquarters in Maluku during the HIV/AIDS symposium, saying that the increased number of youths contracting the HIV virus is due to moral decay. We have the details.
The AIDS report of 2022-2023 indicates that young people are leading in HIV new infections, and leaders in Mbale district attribute the trend to moral decadence.
The problem with you is I'm telling you, me I'm a spiritual leader, you are very stubborn and you take long to understand. We see you getting HIV/AIDS because you have moral decay. It is definitely we are failing at our peak in India. You people, you are suffering because of moral decay.
During the symposium organized by the network of young people living with HIV/AIDS, stigma was hindering people from accessing treatment.
We have also sensitized the communities for them to understand that the stigma is a case to be answered. So if someone stigmatizes a person living with HIV, the case can catch him.
Mbale District Education Officer Musongo Lydia encouraged schools to ensure that children living with HIV adhere to treatment.
We want to call upon all our head teachers and parents that if you have a child who is in a boarding school and is positive and is on drugs, please make an effort to reach out to school. Most of our boarding schools have nurses. If you can't trust a nurse, then speak to the head of institution so that this child is helped and understood and allowed to go and get medicine at whatever time he is supposed to take the medicine, or is reminded by the school nurse to take medicine.
Limited information on HIV/AIDS and access to drugs has increased cases of the virus.
The reason why you are having new HIV infections among young people, one of them is that young people don't have information on HIV. First of all, we have different prevention options for HIV and they don't have this information. Secondly, if young people don't have this information, of course they can't know the ways on how HIV is spread. Most of them, they think it's only maybe through sex, but remember also have young people who are born with a virus. So if they don't have this information, they don't know how to prevent HIV.
There is need for parents and local leaders to tackle HIV spread if Uganda is to achieve the global goal of ending AIDS by 2030.
BBC Lunchtime News takes a very short break, but we return with more stories after these messages.
Meet Brian Namanya, a visionary and a game changer whose team at Tubayo is breathing new life into domestic tourism by curating exciting yet affordable experiences for Ugandans and foreigners to enjoy. With the help of technology, Brian is showing us all the immense potential out there. Those who know Brian know him as a serial entrepreneur who's always been challenging the status quo and won't stop now. Brian, we're in your corner. You are unstoppable. MTN, the Unstoppable Network, celebrates you. Visit www.tubayo.com and together, let's support Ugandans like Brian, who are driving our country's unstoppable progress.
We started with 1 acre. We started with poultry, then we added cows, milk. A day we get 100 liters. When the president was around in 2019 in campaigns, he was in Chenjojo at a rally, was still insisting on 4 acre model. Then that's where my husband raised up, was like, no, Mr. President, for me I have 1 acre. I practiced you what you are telling these people. Now I'm able to earn such and such amount. Then was, wow. You bring Mr. Nyakana, tell us. And our 1 acre is not yet to its 100%. As you see, we've been growing up in income, educating siblings, the income security. Now if even they want a loan, they've been calling us, come and give you a loan. People, they know that you have income, even tomorrow you can what? You can pay. Then President talking to us, we've been receiving a lot since from that announcement. That is a free advert for us.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, it is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Meet Brian Namanya, a visionary and a game changer whose team at Tubayo is breathing new life into domestic tourism. By curating exciting yet affordable experiences for Ugandans and foreigners to enjoy, with the help of technology, Brian is showing us all the immense potential out there. Those who know Brian know him as a serial entrepreneur who's always been challenging the status quo and won't stop now. Brian, we're in your corner. You are unstoppable. MTN, the Unstoppable Network, celebrates you. Visit www.tubayo.com and together, let's support Ugandans like Brian, who are driving our country's unstoppable progress.
Welcome back from that break, and now into the business scene as business starts thriving in the oil-rich region of Bunyoro ahead of the first oil and gas drills and sales. The youth from Bunyoro region have been advised to put much emphasis on agriculture as the only remedy to benefit from oil and gas opportunities. The appeal was made during the Chinese National Offshore Oil Company (CNOOC) National Content Supply Development Workshop held in Hoima City.
The chairperson LC5 for Hoima District, Mubarak Shirunji Jr., speaking at the National Content Suppliers Development Engagement organized by Chinese National Offshore Oil Company in Hoima City, appealed to the youth to avoid look for direct employment from the oil and gas companies, but rather involve in agriculture activities that indirectly tap into opportunities within the oil and gas industries.
As Hoima District, we are so very much happy for this engagement that currently we are changing the mindset of our people from only looking at the job sector, but as well as farming, to see to it that they benefit from the oil and gas sector and any other opportunities that are from within Bunyoro.
The RDC of Hoima District, Rogers Mbabazi, says people in Hoima should take keen interest in a training centered on generating national local content for the oil and gas sector, or else risk losing opportunities to people outside Bunyoro region.
I want to ask you kindly, the people who are here, tell your mugambira bantu banyu mukore group ezo nizo ziratukonyera to start supplying. Short of that, there is no two way about it. Power is very serious with this.
Okwi, an expert on oil and gas from Petroleum Authority of Uganda, says as regulator will continue to engage oil companies to fulfill their mandate and accountable to local communities.
But what is amazing is that 4,344 people are local Bunyoro from the villages where work is happening. And then, of course, for licensees like Total Energies and CNOOC, they are employing up to 849 people. of which again 71% of those are actually our young people who are out in the country. In terms of contractors who have been employed, you will note that the subcontractors have also employed up to 12,000 people, and of which, again, 95% of the contractors, subcontractors, have employed, again, young people from our country.
Information actually is all one. Uganda usanga omuntu akweza contract with supplying abantu 2,000 kigamba downsizing amukampo okija sometimes unexpected abruptly kuja kwijukira abantu 15,000 ogenda kwijukira abantu 3
ati obwire bubintu supply bagamba activity standards ate biraga kuba omusubwa abantu ebirimu abyayo tusobola kwingana na ebituo bijja kuba na mubere by'okyo era barasire kigamba bakwetaka ebyokulya tulinabyo bati hagati aho abakibita bakigire.
Women entrepreneurs have been challenged to tap the international market as Uganda hosts international business summits, including G77 next year. This was during the Busoga Regional UN Women Agribusiness Expo, where women expressed fear to be left behind the summit due to lack of capital. The function was presided over by Dr. Anne Rose Adenoun, the Commissioner in charge of Animal Health.
About 50 women exhibitors turned up for the UN Women Agribusiness Expo at the Source of the Nile showground. They exhibited yogurt, handcrafts, bags, coffee products, but say they have challenges ranging from inadequate capital, lack of knowledge in digital marketing, and non-implementation of government policies.
We have limited access to funding for raising our capital to produce in large quantities. We also have a challenge of selling online because now of late it is digital marketing that is selling so well.
That are affecting us is the delay to implement, to take the policies serious. For example, farmers drying coffee underground, cows are walking through it. Yes, UCDA condemns it, but then our political leaders, because they want votes, they come back and say, it's okay, you can do ABCD.
Through this expo, at least we have interacted with our friends from Kenya, our friends from Tanzania.
Presiding over the expo, the Commissioner for Animal Health, Dr. Anne Rose Adenoun, requested the UN Women, Ministry of Agriculture and Ministry of Gender to champion unity of women groups and ensure value chain in their production.
If we address the issue of agribusiness, address issues of production down the agribusiness chain and above the agribusiness chain, I think that we might capture some of this girl child who is going out.
The UN Women Country Representative in Uganda, Dr. Paulina Chiwangu, challenged women to tap markets during the International Business Summit next year.
So what we want to do, as all of you know that there is NAM Summit coming up in January and G77 coming up. So what we want to see is to select a number of these women, maybe 100 groups of women, and let them display their products.
Some of the exhibitors feared they will be left out due to lack of capital to compete in the business summit. The Busoga Agribusiness Expo was on the theme Unlocking Investment Opportunities for Women Farmers.
And now to the world of sports. Manchester United's season of misery plunged even farther into the depth of despair as they exited the Champions League at the group stage after a defeat by Bayern Munich at Old Trafford. Erik ten Hag's side was beaten 3-0 at home to Portsmouth in the Premier League on Saturday. needed to beat the Bundesliga champions and hope that there was no winner in the other group game between Copenhagen and Galatasaray. And even though Bayern was already comfortable winners of Group A, United was still unable to fulfill their part of the bargain on a night of bitter disappointment. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Defending done there by Amble touch, but look at Neuer's positioning. Diogo Dalot was the Manchester United player. It was a brilliant run, but defending done there by Amrabat.
And that's all we had for you this afternoon. Thank you so much for your company. Do enjoy much more UBC Television's programming. I'm Loreen Masika Kazimoto. Good afternoon.